Hello, Facebook. How are you guys doing today? So we'll just take a few minutes and just let some people hop on, see where everyone is joining from. Make sure this. Hi, Christian. Hi, Joe. So nice to see you guys on here today. Welcome, everyone. We are coming to you live here on this beautiful Saturday from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in sunny Guanacaste, Costa Rica. And we are happy to be back here. It's been another beautiful week. So, yeah. Let's see here. Where's everyone joining from? Please say hello. We are just wrapping up a beautiful week, and our guest speaker this week was Jack Canfield. You guys might be familiar with the Chicken Soul for the Soup books.
And I love that, Chicken Soul for the Soup. That's a new
title. Chicken Soup for the Soul.
I think that's what's happened here. So,
it turned into Chicken Soul.
Let's put some chicken soul in that soup. I'm like, all for it.
Oh boy. So yeah, what a beautiful week with a special guest speaker, and I have the privilege of sitting here with his lovely wife, Inga. And so, hi you guys. People are joining us from Ontario and from Colorado. Yeah. So you want to tell us a little bit about you and where you're from?
My name is Inga Canfield. I'm married to Jack, and I live in Santa Barbara. And this is our first time coming to Rythmia. We planned this trip almost a year ago. We started building, the people to come and be in this experience with us. So we had a lot of our community panache.
Yeah, and what a beautiful community it was that you got to share the week with.
It was amazing. It was really supportive and nurturing. And it's one thing to go through with people you're just meeting and you create a family, and that's amazing. But with people that you're deepening your relationship with, doesn't get much better.
Yeah. I agree. I got to see it, witness it, and what a beautiful week of transformations.
It's just, I just had another healing an hour ago, and the medicine we finished yesterday morning.
Yeah.
But it is alive and well inside me. I'm working all this. I would say things I don't need anymore out of me, and with a lot of assistance and the more trust I have, the easier it is. It's incredible. I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here at Rythmia, and thank you for doing this live with me.
It's my pleasure.
So let's see.
It's my first.
Yeah. Hi, Zen. So happy to see all of you guys on here with us again. Just welcome everyone, and Inga has had a beautiful week full of so many miracles, and so again, thank you for sharing this not only with me but everyone that's watching.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to start off asking you, so once you guys got here, you arrived on Sunday.
We did a Saturday night.
Okay, and then you got to start meeting everyone that was coming in.
We were meeting the people as they were already finished, and they were so lit. It was like, oh my gosh, to get, I don't know, it was something to arrive to them.
And did you get to do the breath work?
Yes, we did before we started the ceremonies, we did the breath work, and that was super helpful. There were so many things that prepared us to go into these ceremonies. So that was, for me, really helpful, as I've had experiences in the past that were a little traumatic for me and almost set me back, where I feel very shored up right now, and definitely no trauma occurred.
Yeah.
So it's, even though sometimes it feels like it in the moment when things are happening and things, oh my gosh, I don't know. And it's like several births in 1 week.
And when you're going through those hard times, there's always a moment of bliss and the light that comes in the remembering of why you're here and why you're doing this hard work.
For me, inside those challenging moments, those were the most challenging because of my little girl, the part of me that's so rogue. I saw like a little street urchin that will not be told what to do. And all these beautiful support. I mean, 4 shamans, not on every night, but such beautiful support and all the people in the room they're in this journey to bring this real light that we all are into the world. And I just felt so great. Not during it, I wasn't quite a fan because, I was, it was physical work at sometimes for me. So, and the trust in going to your breath in those difficult, it's easy to go to my breath when I'm meditating or in, a good place, but when I'm in a challenging place, listening, going to my breath, being still, very challenging for me, and paying attention. Because my whole life, I've gravitated toward being paid attention to. That's just kind of my expressiveness. It's like, and here it turned around because it was very clear. It was told me so many times, it's like, you must pay attention. And I couldn't see what I couldn't see, but I trusted everyone so much that I did begin to pay attention. And I received so many gifts, so many beautiful moments when I dropped all that grasping that was inside of me and just just did what they said to do. And I must have had 100 highlights this week by paying attention to the people around me and beautiful things I got to witness and be a part of. So,
do you want to share a few of the highlights and a few of the miracle moments with us?
Okay, so yeah, the first person that comes to mind is someone here named Vaughn, who I know really well from TLC, the Transformational Leadership Council, which we're all members of. And he was going through the journey in the ceremony. He was dancing this epic, I'm going to call it an epic man dance. Mm-hmm. And normally I'm the one that does the dancing, and in my life I'm, just a real expression. And I got knee surgery before I came, and my hip was bad, and so I just sat down at his feet and just was enthralled by his man dance. And what I saw in it was the evolution of man and all of the heaviness that I have to do one. That men have been carrying the burdens, doing the best they can, and we've gotten ourselves in quite a pickle with the way we've been doing things. And men are, it's because of men. And what I just saw was, after about 30 minutes, I just felt like I wanted to drop to my knees and say, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. And then I went directly outside, and suddenly I was in the arms of this lovely man, and it just holding him. I was from Vaughn whispering, I forgive you. And then the hold became this whole release for him, but it was also simultaneously healing this place that was apart with Jack and myself. But I was able to hold the space so pristinely because I could see so clearly. And the next morning, my dad committed suicide when I was 8. And, it wasn't processed in a normal way. Just shut him away. And so what I, brought the two things together. I was forgiving all these men, but I was forgiving my father, and my heart was opening, and I was receiving his love, and I saw his little damaged, his pure essence, and also his destroyed adult. It was just a huge, a lot of, darkness and beliefs I'd formed. They just kept lifting and lightening me, and it was very challenging to go through it in the beginning, and then once I would surrender and open to it, it would become lighter, and then my free expression, my magical child self, I just have a lot of childlike energy, and it was much more, I was in my essence rather than sometimes being employed. Those good things in me have been employed to make other people feel better. But this was all for just nourishing my own heart. So the giving that came after that was from this fullest heart that some ways I've ever experienced, because I really did come back into my soul, and my heart was being healed every single night on a new level, a new experience. And that was just one experience. I must have had at least 30 of those experiences. They're so beautiful.
Did you have any idea that you were still holding on to so much of that energy that needed to be released?
No. But one of the first night, they prepare you for 24 hours, beautiful classes with It's funny and fun and deep and really knowledgeable, setting you up, preparing you. And so they just tell you to come in with your intentions and show me who you've become. And I honestly, I thought, well, just show me that sometimes I'm a bitch. Sometimes, my heart is closed and I get shut down, and, like you show me a little of that, but mostly I'm good. And boy, the first night it was like a full blown, like my mother. Oh my gosh, I love my mother so much. And I feel like I let go of this huge narcissistic structure that was inside of her, that was like passed down in our lineage, and created these really strong Viking women who were being hurt, which is really all of us women do this together, where we need to, first of all, listen to ourselves, and that's what I really got. Really valuing my own part, my own, what I'm standing in, and standing in support of your voice and your authenticity, and not being threatened or comparing and contrasting. I was able to rise into that. But part of the work was, I saw, and I don't play any of this, I did not even think about my mother. And she just became like, it was this big, the structure that was inside me that I had to release. And I needed a lot of help from shamans, from the people in the workroom. And I was like fighting, sometimes I saw myself like an ox because I was so stubborn. I just like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. And then it was just like, at one point I was sort of being held, be still, listen, pay attention. And I didn't really know how to do that because I've been running rogue. That part of me was running rogue. But I started to pay attention. I started to breathe deeply and get way inside. And so that as soon as I would do that, my perception would shift and release eventually happened. And it was very scary though inside of it. I had a lot of dark energy that needed to be released. And, but I'm like, oh my gosh, because everything that's in there, it's just coming out and leaving. And I really benefited from that.
Yeah, so do you think that working with the plant medicine, you kind of learned how to surrender to it and just let the process happen, knowing that there's going to be so much light on the other side of the darkness?
I did. I had trepidation each time because of my, I get a little claustrophobic and panicked. I have a tendency to kind of want to run, big tendency. And by the fourth night, I really started to listen, and the plant medicine was so clear that she, in all her power and intelligence, knows what's the next step for me, and I've never given more than I can handle. And I can apparently handle a lot because
you're strong.
Yeah, and I started to be more gentle because I have a tendency to make everything hard, and that was it was hard to face that my stubbornness.
So going through these experiences where you learn to soften, you learn to listen, you learn to surrender, now you can take that back into life. And so when things get hard and you're tough or fighting through things, you just go back to that breath.
Back to the breath, and remembering that coming from love is really the very best way. I mean, I know for years working with a beautiful teacher, Dawa Tarchin Phillips, and I'm connected to a Buddhist community, and I really don't want to create harm. And yet there's times when I don't know, I'm so habitual in the way that I do things that I'm creating harm. I have a lot of fire, and inside of the journey I saw on the fourth night that, gift of healing. And I was like a little like unicorn with my new little saber, my little healing thing, and I'd do some healing, and then it'd be like, it would kind of blow up. It's like, okay, more gently, because I do have the gift of telling the truth, and I'm very authentic. And I've told that my whole life, I never understood it as a gift because I'm just being me. I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm actually like, I thought I was really underneath, like, worthless in some ways. I really, a lot of us suffer from that core wound of I'm just not enough. I mean, my dad, he left me, blindsided me, and just kind of created this, I don't deserve to be here. I certainly was unable to save him, so I didn't know, I wasn't worthy of being here because I didn't earn my keep. I really dropped the ball on that one. When you're 8, you do think that it had something to do with me, which of course it didn't.
You were so worthy. Yes. And I think this week showed you that, how strong and powerful you are. And at the core essence of who you are is just love and light. And I see your light shining so bright. And, you know, hearing you speak about all these experiences and just seeing all the emotion and the joy that came out of this week is so beautiful. And so you talked about the first night a little bit, and then what about the second night?
So I'll just finish that. Show me who you become.
Yeah.
I had become a servant to my mother, and that voice, not my real mother, but that voice that was shutting down my expression, passing down that lineage of unworthiness, you know, that was in there too, and being strong but being shut down like that. So I saw very loud and clear what was holding me back. And the second night, gosh, it's so hard to go linear because it was all happening in some ways all at once. I really struggled I really had a kind of a rebirth experience where I really physically, that was the night where they were holding me down. And, you know, not like, oh, holding her down. It was just like, shh,
Out of love.
out of love, and showing me to my own heart and my own, I can do this. Because on the other side of this is such beauty. I think the second night, though, is when I did the bond dance, the epic man dance happened, the healing of the man happened. And then I was suddenly like his queen. He was a lot younger, so I was like a mother, but a queen, and he set me up and he gave me water and, you know, just like, because he was so grateful for that. So both nights were the process of a lot of releasing and letting go. And then the third night, I really had to sit with it. Because there is, you know, physical pain. There's a lot of, there's so much nausea. You know, we have such a negative thing around nausea and wanting to throw up. We think, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to. I need to get rid of it. I need to do it faster. I need to do it harder. I need to get away from this. And instead, on the third night, I was like, it was if it was mine, and I loved it, and I explored it, and I allowed it, and I was with it. And
So it changes from a sense of, oh, I feel sick to, oh, this is a sense of wellness.
yes, well, it's
And
knowing that this wants to be out of me so that I can be in my true essence. And instead of being in a big fat hurry, being impatient, I kept slowing myself back to my breath. And also Jack was going through huge, huge releases. And I was he wasn't right next to me, but he was 2 doors down.
Yeah.
We were, just on beds near each other. And his courage and his, like really stepping into who he is a man in his own right, and a gorgeous, he really knows how to go through the process. He has a deep knowing, holds a huge space, and he has a gigantic heart. And I really witnessed that and saw, because when you live with someone, he's Jack Canfield, and everyone treats him a certain way, and I live with him, and he's a normal person who gets on my nerves, who isn't very connected to me, who watches TV, who plays video, who does normal things.
Yeah.
I start to feel like, where's the truth in all this? I wanted to run out of our relationship because I know he is that, and yet we weren't sharing that together, and that is not on him. I was also not initiating certain kind of intimacy, which is really moving closer to his heart. And this week has been about us moving closer to each other's hearts and really feeling the deep love that we have for each other. We've been together almost 24 years. And I just feel like I've been blessed with the most amazing partner, who's Jack. Not Jack Canfield, but he's Jack.
You called in your king this week.
I
You
did.
said that you're his queen.
I did. I'm full of that.
I thought it was beautiful.
Thank you. No, I felt like that's what's needed. He is a king, and he needs his queen. And I wrote a lot about it on the first night when I became my magical child. I thought, oh my God, I have all the answers, and really being a benevolent queen, one who I'm a really good person. And it's as simple as that, and it's not about any hierarchical, because that word is so misleading.
You guys shared some really special moments this week too. So after the Thursday ceremony, which
that was all night, and amazing, and slow moving and kind of luxurious in being able to. I mean, at the beginning you're like, I don't know, another night. Like you could only go one night at a time, and the fourth night, like I don't know how this is going to happen, but the way it unfolded, so magical. And we had these healing circles, and all the shamans were there that night, so 5 of them total.
So it was Christian, Brad, Sarah, and Mitra.
Yes, so those 4, and we were in a circle, and in small groups, throughout the night, and they did these healings. You could just feel all this, all the stuff you're working on the inside. They're almost like coaxing it out, all in their very unique expressions of it, but
prayers and chants and blessings.
And just gently, like we're moving it out of these places, and you really don't. I really believe this is. I was gonna say the shit works. I mean, I've done a lot of work. I have worked so diligently on myself, and I mean, some things I can't get them out with therapy or the Hoffman process or, this Buddhist lovely traditions I've been studying, or tradition I've been studying. This is the most direct and beautiful and intelligent way I've ever experienced of removing things that are getting in the way of me being my true essence and my contribution to our world, and especially as a woman and all these beautiful women. I know I just want that to seep out, that our expression is just as valuable, and even at this time in history, more valuable, because we have to be the ones to change the paradigm, and the men will join us. It does feel like it is our time. We can't shy away from it. We can't wait to be anointed. We have to know it in ourselves. And this journey, you can't do this in therapy. You can't do this on any retreat. You can do that here.
Yeah,
it's so simple.
Every week people say that if they've been in therapy for years and they come here, you get 4 nights ceremony, and equal to many, many years of actually going to therapy, which therapy, reading books, all of that helps.
Well, it's like, and also all the lineage behind me, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and then in the future generations, like I was writing toward, my little my little nieces and my grandson, like I want to do this for them, for us. So, and the second night or third, it was like the gig is up. I was in the inside of it, like we are running out of time as humanity to turn this around. We are really at it's like you have to stop thinking that you don't have a part, or that you can't rise into your power. You absolutely can, and it's a must. And I was going to say something about that.
But you stepped in your power and stepped in your voice this week, and it's been so beautiful. And then going through the healing circles and kind of closing it up, and seeing the sunrise. And
there it was.
Yeah, and after the sun rose,
yeah,
then we got to see you and Jack have a little ceremony.
We had a spiritual wedding, and it was so beautiful. It was really our first wedding. It was because we were so present with each other, and the community and the intention and the deep knowing that we are meant to be together, we're meant to be supported and loved, and we're meant to love each other, and we're meant to love ourselves inside of that. So it was the most pure and in its essence form of love for each other, being witnessed by this amazing community. Beautiful. Steve D'Annunzio played all his great music, and we just sang Beatles songs.
Yeah.
And Mitra is like the most gorgeous human being, so super cool at the same time. And he said to Jack, he said, I saw my father in you. You know, Mitra's father was, who would you explain? Is Tito or is the shaman?
Mitra's teacher is
Teacher.
Taita.
See it?
Yeah.
So, and he saw Jack as
His father.
so I think that's a little, he said he's the most beautiful man he's ever known in his life. And that just made Jack weep. And that was the moment of paying attention where I was, you know, this far from Mitra and Jack's. They're communing and feeling like Jack was so touching to see him be so healed and valued for just who he is, not what he's doing, and not what he's contributing, which is a lot. And he was being so nourished. So that was really touching to me as his wife. Experiencing that, just what he went through the healing circle and witnessing him being healed was, I sat behind him while it was happening. It was so beautiful.
What a way to wrap up the week, to you guys to have the spiritual wedding and to really join after so much healing.
Yes.
So beautiful.
It was miraculous and it was spectacular.
Yes.
It's like, wow, it's just a full circle, beautiful. And the work just keeps, the releasing keeps happening. All last night, I was sweating like I was in like a sweat lodge. And it was so much so that I thought it was like purging. Were things happening? Because it was like the room was filling up with this dense stuff coming out. Jack even woke up, he goes, wow, it smells like the medicine in here. And, you know, the whole night was like that. I just kept going in and I had a lot of trust and just felt like she was cleaning all this inner. And this morning I felt very kind of bright, but not bushy tailed, but more like soft and grateful. And then I had a huge, like, I tend to do my healings in broad daylight. And right when people are eating, I suddenly have a whole like thing eruption. But like, then the community comes around and just holds a space. And I felt so much trust and kindness toward myself that the way that I do it, the way that it happens is uniquely how it happens for me. Instead of a lot of times I get in the way thinking, oh, this is well, it's humiliating. It would feel that way to do such a big release, right? People are laughing and having lunch and, you know, I'm shaking and breaking stuff out of me in that moment. That just happened like an hour ago. Yeah. And I feel like I'm completely back and fine and there's no problem with it.
And it's all perfect.
We're coming back for sure. Yeah, next year we know that this is like really part of like we're in a new, we've been on this road to a new journey for a while. And we both know that this is it. Yeah. So the more people that we could turn on to this and the more that the world will be able to shift in such an easy, it could be in a moment that we can shift our perspective and be aligned with nature and each other, aligned with each other.
So for not only just your community, but anyone that's watching, what advice do you have if they're thinking about coming to Rythmia, but they're not quite sure?
I think like listening to your heart first, if you feel the spark. It's not like, oh, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have to be ready for this. I didn't think I wanted to do it again because I did it before. It was, like I said, a little traumatic. So I actually was a lot traumatic. And so I was just following Jack's lead. I thought I would just come and support everyone and I wouldn't do the journey, you know, the medicine. But I wasn't properly introduced. So I didn't understand it. Now I feel like, so that first thing is the feeling in the calling in your heart. And just one foot in front of the other. Just keep stepping through there's discomfort because there's a not knowing what's going to happen and trusting that we all have the medicine never gives you more than you can handle. That is absolutely for sure. We've never had any incident of someone not being able to actually handle it. It looked like that.
Yeah.
Inside of it, like, ooh, that's pretty dicey over there. But they do. I just, oh my gosh, if you could, you know, come with some friends. Like it's it's all like, it's great to come, you will build a community, especially if you don't have a community. This is a great way, because I'm sure who doesn't have a community must be longing for
And especially with the classes. Between
Yes.
the classes, the community, even the yoga classes, meditation.
that. Yeah, doing everything.
Dance, going to see the guest speaker,
Yes.
going to the opening talk, which is always fun, and the closing talk this morning with JJ.
Yes, was amazing. Someone stood up and did it was like stand up / like grand finale. I mean, I just thought I felt like fireworks were shooting out of the top of my head when Clint was doing his thing. I just was like, I had never seen anything more. I mean, spectacular is a word that I thought a lot this week. I'm like, each shaman, when they were in the throes of whatever they're doing, I'm like, I have never seen a more spectacular human being in my life. I mean, I really felt that about anybody that I had an encounter with, because it wasn't like, oh, hi, you're spectacular. They were doing amazing things.
Because when you come here and you heal, you're not just healing individual, it's like really healing as a group.
Yes, I really noticed that. Like
Yeah.
each person that was, maybe they're going through a very deep purge, I keep going you, and it felt like you could feel things working in you as each thing touched everybody. And I felt so supported in that. And so what else could I say about encouraging someone to come? It's just the shortest cut. If you're someone who wants to grow and wants to understand why you're here, and the essence, this miracle of life, that we get so bogged down in our suffering that we can't see how amazing it is, and not to squander that one more minute. This is the fastest way to get to where you can enjoy every moment of your life. And it requires work, and it requires courage that we all have. And that's really pretty good. I wish everyone I was in it, I was so clear, like, oh my gosh, the tipping point has to occur soon. More people have to wake up to who they truly are. We have to come together. We have to, unite. And why is the medicine? Why does she care so much about us? It seems, I was thinking inside of it, like, if we all died, the nature would be a lot better off. It feels like, because we're just doing a lot of destruction, and but we are tied up with nature. It's clear. There are bigger things that I don't understand.
We are part of nature.
Exactly.
And we get to walk through this beautiful garden of earth. Everything that we need is here for us. And getting to do the work and sharing, just going back into the world and letting your light shine, and speaking your truth.
A lot more fear, with a less, like, oh, I need to be seen, I need to be heard, nobody sees me, nobody appreciates me. These are like the echoes of, like, deep down, where I get very insecure at times. I derail, I trigger, and then I'm just barely functioning. And I just want to, first of all, really do practices that, my meditation, certain things every day that bring me back to my breath, because it's very hard to continue if you don't practice.
So
I feel really motivated. Yeah.
So going back into life, leaving Rythmia, going back home, keeping up the meditation, working on writing, journaling. It's like, are there anything else that you're going to add into your daily practice and, take away from this experience?
Well, I think just coming from softening, really slowing down and softening and connecting and opening myself to whoever's in front of me. I'm already doing that. I've been a lot has changed in me in the last 5 years, but I do feel like I did an exponential leap, and to just be mostly focused on being kind to myself, because I have a tendency to go give it away, not refuel, and then deplete, and then I suffer. And so I just want to stay really attuned to my essence, and also that little girl, I had eye contact with her I'd never had eye contact for several minutes. She finally came. It was through a series of things that happened at lunch 2 days ago, where someone came over to me and said, I have a message for you. And I had just received like some kind of Shakti pod and from someone just because they were so, like they were in their pure essence. And just, James, he was just being that, and my head kind of like exploded. Then my heart went, and then Vaughn came over and knelt before me and said, I have a message for you. And it was that I am loved, you are loved, and you are cared for. And then my whole body started to shake. And then all of a sudden I was kind of crying. It was just like this like little girl, she was running, and she was in the fetal position, and she was like everywhere at once, and I was just following and allowing. And then she showed up, her little street urchin self, and looked in my eyes like, and I could say to her while I was being held and loved, I love you. I love you. Very, like 10 times, I love you. And I'm caring for you. I'm never leaving you. While I had 8 hands on me, just holding the space for this hurt. Jack was watching the whole thing, and he was just, it was a huge release for him as well, because he was connecting with his little boy, and also he was the last person to talk to my mother when she passed. 2 hours before she passed, she said to Jack, "You take care of my little Ingy." And so he has always held that. It was 9 years ago. Held that. It was like it was a real message. And so it was like all in full circle. So it was a really beautiful healing in broad daylight at lunch. It's just, once the medicine and you come together, I mean, I sound like I'm in a cult now. Once the medicine, but I mean, you, after 4 full nights, you see that this is no joke. This is intelligence from thousands of years. And when the shaman Mitra, when these beautiful, like, sit-in councils we had every night were like, they were, wow, that was worth the price of admission right there. Such wisdom and love, such big-heartedness, wholeheartedness.
Yeah. So, 2 things. They say you can't see until you see, and then you can't unsee.
Right.
And the universe rewards bravery.
Yes.
And experiencing both of those things is just profound and a miracle in itself. And so, yeah, what a beautiful week.
Yeah, so much. And then Jack, we just come back to our room, and today he said, you're just my very best friend. You're my lover. You're the way that the time that we have so many good, great times and connections, but this time we really seeing each other soul to soul, and also merge. One of the intentions after you see who you become, then you merge with your soul at all costs. And I think both of us had that experience in our own journeys. And those two our souls saw each other with such clarity and respect and love. And I hear that lots of couples come who are on the verge of divorce, and then they I would highly recommend if you were having issues in your life, if you could bring your spouse or your best friend or your sister, that would be
Family.
right. Like getting back to that the connection. Because I think one of my most painful things in life is when I disconnect from somebody because of misunderstanding, and like my own wound. My old wound tangles up with theirs, and then we just become like, it's a mess. And that causes me so much pain.
And so much clarity came this week.
Oh, yeah. And I don't feel like I'm going to go back and be like a prophesizer or something. Oh, you have to do this, or start singing the songs. There's really great music too, really great, and it does seep in, and you're like walking around, and that music's happening during the day.
You're like,
So
how do I know the words
ding,
to this
ding,
song?
ding,
Yeah. So
Oh,
beautiful.
gosh.
Yeah, you can listen to the music anytime, and it'll bring you right back and help you remember.
Yes, help you remember.
Remember who you are.
And for me, I think the words were, "You are loved, and you are cared for. I am so loved." so cared for, and now it's like it's internalized. It's so funny, in the middle of the journey, there would be times it was really difficult, and everybody would be gone. Like I felt like the room, 50 people, they were all gone. I was all by myself. Like when you're birthing a child, you know, you ultimately comes down to you got to do the, and those are come to Jesus moments.
Yeah.
And yet, you can do it. We can do it. Everybody's very respectful about, you know, nobody's rescuing anybody. And yet we're in support of each other so that we can lovingly and wholeheartedly, we choose to go through and not back away.
Yeah.
Those doors are there. It's us, I have to open it and I have to go through. But there's a lot of help to make sure, you know, make sure it goes safely, you know, injuries are.
Yeah, and you really learn to show it for yourself.
Yes.
And then you take that back into life.
Well, you know, one of the tools that I will take back, Jack and I both think, is breath work. So I did breath work for 3 years. I go to Ojai with this amazing woman, Jody Lewis, and in a year for an hour and a half, we did breath work, and I had to reverse all these things happened, but I didn't pick it up as a practice, and I do think it can be challenging in there, and it just teaches you how to cultivate trust in your own ability to come back into your heart, and especially in the difficult times. It's just, you always think, oh yeah, I can meditate and I can be still. It's like, oh yeah, easy in your perfect little cushion and your thing, but get out in the rough sea and see if you can stay breathing and connected. And that's what I really feel like I'm learning. That's what's needed. That's what I've learned.
Yeah. Taking that back, taking all of this, everything that you've let go of, everything that you've learned and cultivated, and the community and the new tribe and family of everyone here, and being a part of Rythmia. And
we do feel like a part of Rythmia. We think that's just like, it's just the story of how it, the conception of it, and how it grew and how slow it was. And sometimes things are, it's difficult. Just thinking like, wow, if Jerry hadn't taken that step, and then all of you just came. The community is spectacular.
Thank you.
Really, each and every one of you. Yeah.
And so are you guys, and having your community.
I was looking at you, Lindsay. I was thinking when we were getting married, and it was kind of a long ceremony, and people have been up, you know, all night.
Yeah.
And then at the last thing was the ceremony, and I get very nervous for taking up other people's time. And, you know, oh, it's too long. And Lindsay was like, what were those?
The chimes.
The chimes she was holding them. And I would hear them, and it would just like gently put me back in my heart, connect me. It wasn't hard, it was easy to do because I was so practiced. But the old habit, you could feel it was right outside. Like it's like your ego thing, and it wants to distract us from the true beauty that's right here, right now. And so it was really very powerful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, because I don't feel like I missed a moment of our connection. And then at the end, they tied our hands together, our arms together.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jack and I, when we go to parties, you know, we start together, and then everyone wants to talk to Jack, and then like my voice is like, I'm gonna go find someone that, you know, I got something to say. I want to have a conversation, so I was ditch him. But now it just felt like we were working it out together. He was going there, and I was going here, and then we came together. It was just really funny and really fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
Well, you've seen a lot of those, so that must be a struggle.
We have weddings here often, and they connect the hands and do the blessings, and then wrap you guys up, so that way it comes full circle.
Yeah,
it's so beautiful to witness and watch, and thank you for letting us be a part of that.
Oh my God, everyone said that. I just thought, thank you. Oh my God, it was like a spontaneous, like many people said it was the best wedding they ever been to.
Yeah.
And that's how we felt. We were married, we went in a couples workshop in Mexico. We did it 2 years. We had to write our own vows, remarry, and it was beautiful, but it wasn't that kind. This was like, wow, right to the center of the earth.
And after the week of healing together, and then closing it off with a beautiful ceremony.
And I felt like I had my man, like, who has my best interest at heart, who's gonna stand up to some uncomfortable things. And so I feel like, ooh, that, instead of thinking I want him to be my white knight coming to rescue me, like that victim part that I was very habituated toward becoming, she got definitely cleaned out. So that kind of made room for us to rise to looking straight into each other's eyes. And I can care for you, Jack. Jack can care for me, but hold me. And we're both in our equal strength, but mine much more feminine. His showing up because he's a lover. In life, in the way he teaches, he shows up as a real lover to people. It's one of his strengths. He melts hearts. That's what Nietzsche said. He said, "You just melt hearts." And I'm more of a warrior. I'm like, I have this, I see the truth, and when it's out of alignment, I can't just have a hard time tolerating it. So going out of here, tolerating, loving what is, not wanting it to change, not, that little saber, that little healing saber, not like, just being gentler and more loving, so that it can open in its own time.
And that in itself is something beautiful to walk away from.
Yeah.
Walk away from here with.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, anything else you would like to add in or share?
Well, I could probably just keep finding things, but I feel like, that feels good. You just like eat a meal, but you don't gorge.
Yeah. Thank you again so much for sharing this with us and for being here at Rythmia and doing the work. It's been beautiful, and we were going to be looking forward to having you guys back.
Yeah, and maybe your comeback too. We'll do this together.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be another beautiful community you guys have joining you guys here next time. So thank you guys so much. We are getting ready to, start another beautiful week. And
I can't believe that.
yeah.
Yeah, and then, the freshness in which you come in with each week is like unbelievable.
As people start to head back and more people start to join. Yeah, so you guys will be leaving later on, and
Now I'm going to go to the beach with some of my new friends. We're going to go down there, and there's all these beautiful shells on the beach. I felt like I was 6 again. Oh my God! They were just, their shells are kind of disappeared in a lot of places. Yeah. It's the ocean, and I forgot half through the week that I was in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Because, like when you were introducing, I'm like, oh, and it's a week, and a whole lifetime. Yeah.
All in one. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you have any questions or if you're ready to call this number above and come and join us here at Rythmia, we would love to have you. And you can always check out our website or look us up on Facebook to get some more information on videos. And anything you guys need or questions you have, we're here for you. So we will see you for another Facebook Live next Saturday at 2 p.m. So you guys have a blessed weekend, and we will see you then. Namaste.